Pleasant good evening to one and all. Welcome to AI Live coverage of the Male Senior League Anguilla Football Association right here from Rainbow City, Anguilla. Our Tuesday match features the Roaring Lions versus Attackers. That's our Tuesday game. And virtually the final match for the Roaring Lions as we wind our way down to the end of the 2023 season. The championship has already been won by the Ducks United, and again we want to say congratulations to the Ducks United. And so we bid you a good evening once again and welcome to live coverage here of the to live coverage of the Tuesday edition of the AFL Male Senior League. And we take this opportunity to thank you for joining AI Live coverage as we've been doing since the start of this season in early February. We are happy to be with you again this evening. Your commentator this evening is Tony Fleming, and we've got another good match for you between the former defending champions, the Roaring Lions. They're in second spot versus the Attackers. And the Attackers are looking to see whether they can overtake the Diamonds, who are at the moment in the third position. And again, we want to say thank you for taking the time to be with us throughout the entire season. This evening, the Roaring Lions appears as though they're about to be kicking from the left of screen to right, and the Attackers from right of screen to left. The Attackers are in the original strip of blue and white. The Roaring Lions, the trusted orange strip, and preliminaries are out of the way. Referee this evening is Kimani. He is assisted by that of Harley and Jackson on the far end. And as we wind our way down to the end of the season, it will be the last match for the Roaring Lions, and they will be looking to at least maybe go away with a win. The Attackers, on the other hand, they have got this match, and then the champions for this year, 2023, that's the Ducks United. They will be they are the championship team for this year's tournament, and they will be playing their final match against these said Attackers team on the I think that's on Friday coming. And so we're just about getting ready to start. The players are out. All the preliminaries has been had. We also want to send out some get well greetings. I know it's early days yet, but the player there for the Limers FC, in that of Varian, he would have sustained an injury and throughout the course of the match. And the match that he was playing very well, actually, and got his hand broken. And so we wish him speedy recovery, and we do hope that he can get back to full fitness as there's quite a bit of matches that is untapped that is coming up for the national team. So players been started, and again, ball is with Yariel. He finds the player there in Dalik, and Screechy can't control, under some pressure, can't control the ball. The ball goes into touch force throwing. The attackers, on the other hand, they were soundly beaten by the Limas FC over the course of the weekend, losing some 3-0, and they will be looking to at least get back on winning terms to see how best they can at least finish this season. So they will be certainly looking to at least do a number here on the Rowing Lions. And pretty young team, the Rowing Lions. Somewhat. Play has been held up a bit. I'm not too sure why. The referee has the ball in his position, and whether the ear in the ball is not to the required weight. Fourth official on the other hand is Mr. Albert Burton, and so play has been just held up momentarily, just for a ball change, and just about getting ready to start again. So still early days. Appears as though still not satisfied, and which is somewhat a little bit on the disappointing side of things, because as the officials, you will want to make sure that those balls are properly aired, and that this break certainly would not have been on the necessary side of things. So just to get some air in the balls, we will get on our way. And there's a play out from the back, loses control there, but Mikai kind of picks up position. Here is Christian. He tries to go wide, but Rashim Thompson collects. Casa loses out. Screechy gets onto the ball now, but loses position again. So Roscoe wears the number 26 shirt, goes across field to Special Javier Brooks. Gives it away to Christian. He's been hounded there by Duke. Connor picks up midfield. Goes wide. Can't get past the player there. Here is good move there by the young man, and a cross coming through. But cleared away Roscoe right in the end. But that looked like play over there in Rennell. Really silky move there. But not saying that the cross was a little too hard, but just the positioning there of the player there in Roscoe really was able to clear. Here is Sutherland. And it's Roscoe picks up from midfield. Casa trying to go wide there to find Gaza, but cut out there. Looks like by Karen Warner. As I say, welcome to the man himself in Doc Brian. Doc, welcome.
Yes, good evening, Tony. And looking at this Roaring Lions side, the man Raynell would have looked like he picked up an injury. in the last encounter. But he is playing, and they also have the man in Sutherland back for them as well. Number of players back, in fact. Kieran Warner is back. Walker's there from the start. And Keon Woodley back in the lineup as well.
Yes, so Reynolds who's look very promising. Here is a move there. Ball pass to Jelly. He tries to go across field to Screechy. Is he going to get onto that one? Does so now. And just holds the ball up a bit. Finds Connor. Connor trying to cross the ball and miscued there. Cleared away there by Casa. Ball is with Kean Lee now, former player for the Roaring Lions as well. And Doc, I'm certainly sure that the attackers team was soundly beaten by the Limers FC in that particular match. I understood that the man Varian Carty, who was playing very well up until that point as well, sustained an injury, and we certainly wish him well. They'll be looking to bounce back.
Yes, indeed. It was a great game by Varian Carty up until the point he got injured. He had really the perfect 38 minutes, got himself a goal, was creating a whole lot of chances, waiting for a challenge that unfortunately resulted in him breaking his shoulder.
Yes. And as beautiful as this game of football is, at times it tends to really dish out its various types of injuries, some serious, some life-threatening, and but it is amazing that it's still being played by the world over, Doc.
Most popular sport in the world. They call it the beautiful game, but it's a cruel game as well. Very fickle, the game of football. So the most promising players that you would see going down to injuries as here comes Sutherland. Sutherland puts one across, looking to the back post. Cleared for now. Screechy tries to leave one there. Well, Sutherland also shares a name with Tariq Sutherland as well, former Salsa Ballers player, one of the most talented players I would have seen in this league. So silky on the ball, Tariq Sutherland. When I first heard that Sutherland was playing for the Roaring Lions, I thought it may have been Tariq who came back, but it is not Tariq Sutherland.
Yes, and he's plays very well, especially on the wing. We've seen, I saw him really executed a move and scored a brilliant goal to really take the Roaring Lions and move them off at a point where they was wondering where was that opening goal coming from, and so it's good to have him back in the team.
It will be a chance here, but good keeping there by Boris. As very interestingly for the Roaring Lions, there's no Marvin here today to start with. So they are playing without a true and natural center half. Ariel, of course, has played there very well this season, but he's not a center midfielder by trade.
Yes, but to be honest, it's amazing how he has applied himself playing in that position.
That's a good ball through, but good work as well there by Randy Gomez.
Yes.
Gomez, another injury out for this one. Would have struggled really in the last encounter over the weekend. But he is fit and he looks raring to go early in this one.
Yes, and as I mentioned, the tournament already been won by the Ducks United, but there's still quite a bit of football to be played in this 2023 season. We've got the Champions League coming up, the D-League that's coming up as well, and so quite a bit to play
is
for.
Coming up as well.
Yes, quite a bit to play for.
Roscoe does well and wins a goal kick. Also interestingly for the Attackers FC, I am not quite seeing the man for them in Reed, Kiroy Reed. So it looks like Duke is in the midfield with Shortman and Casa.
Yes, and that's a team as well who's been struggling with quite a number of players as well coming in and out. Has not had their quota of regular players as often as can be. we have seen where the Roaring Lions themselves too have implemented quite a bit of the youngsters, the regulars, in terms of the Tafaris and the Marvin for the most part, um, Tyreek Lake, yes, has been, you know, on out of the squad, but they have acquitted themselves well. I think these youngsters and should be well for the future.
It does look like the Lions, they are playing a man, Cali Jackson, at centre back. Jackson, of course, he did play centre back for the under 17 championship winning Spartan side. He was their centre back and played rather well in that team. So he is not completely new to playing centre back. He just hasn't really played it at this level of football yet. And he is up against a really fast striker in the man Gaza.
But Doc, I can tell you, before you got back from college, he did play in that particular position for Rowan Lions a couple of times. And honestly speaking, I think would probably be one of his more preferred position on the football field. He has really presented himself well in that particular position.
He's a very talented young player, and Cali Jackson started out, of course, with the Spartans. Now he's moved over to the Roaring Lions. That's a very good head on the shoulders. That's Keon Lee, the former Lion as well. Looking for some support. We'll find it in Centerville Duke. Duke over the top early. It's a good ball, and it will fall to Shakoy. And Shakoy Reed, in the 13th minute of play, has made it 1-0.
Well, and there you had it. 1-0 in favor of the attackers team. And I would say some real sloppy playing there from the Rowan Lions, both in the center of the fence and in midfield as well, because that ball came all the way back out from Keon Lee in the midfield. Players reacting late. The ball was just helped over there. The defenders missing everything, and the helpless Kareem in goal had not a chance. Absolutely.
Well, if you look at that goal again, it reminds me a whole lot of the Enforcers days. Duke over the top, finding guards who laid it off. It's usually he lays it off to Sylvanus, but it was Shakoy Reed there this time. And Shakoy made no mistake on the volley. And the attackers have drawn first blood in this one.
Yes, certainly. So we'll have to do some playing here, the Roaring Lions now, for sure.
Oh, that's careless as well. And it's Shakoy trying to get in behind. Now Lee, back to Duke. Duke with a very good turn past the man. Duke plays one around the outside looking for Gaza. Gaza sends one inside. And the defense has to be good because there are some attacker shots waiting on it. Back out to Centerville Duke. Looking for another former enforcer in Mason. Mason to Lee. Lee cutting back inside well. Lee laying one off, looking for Centerville Duke. Not his best effort at goal there, but rather far distance. And a push in the back by Lee means it will be a free kick.
Yeah, certainly the balance there in midfield, and especially Dali playing in the left back position, given lots and lots of space and room there to Keon Lee, who's really utilizing the space very well. So they'll have to get a lot more compact in midfield, the Rowan Lions.
Oh, the Lions have up to do defensively. So they have Keon Woodley and Craig Jackson on the side of the man Gaza, Sean Isaacs. And we do know that Gaza is a very dangerous player, one of the most dangerous players in this league. So they have two what you would call relatively inexperienced players on that side. But they do have pace. They do have pace, those two young men. So it will be interesting in the initial goings. Gaza has gotten the better of them.
Yes, so far, yes. So you can see the inexperience there between like a Marvin and Yariel playing center back as opposed to Jackson. Even though Jackson has really played well from what I've seen in that particular position, maybe not having that much experience in that position so far and was found wanting there because that ball fell over.
Ball whipped in here, dealt with partially. The shot on the volley is very much miscued, and eventually the attackers can look to break with Keon Lee, but Lee runs into a brick wall over the top. It will find Screechy Walker here. Walker has some company in the middle, tries to find him. Good defensive work for the moment. It's a hit at goal. Will not trouble Randy Gomez at all. Look like Kieran Warner there, going for an effort.
But it's amazing though that all these teams, they're pretty much, well, both the attackers and the Diamonds, they can only get to 33 points.
I would like to apologize. I've been saying Keon Woodley all day. That's been Kieran Warner. I've been mistaking the names.
Yes.
Two players that have been out. It is Kieran Warner and not Woodley who's been playing out there.
Yes. Well, that's, I guess, bragging rights between these two teams.
The attackers, they do need to win.
Yeah.
They need to win this one. They need to win the game after. They need to pray that the Spartans can take something from that game versus the Diamonds FC. Because I guarantee you would much rather face the Roaring Lions than this dark side in the playoffs.
Yes.
It's Lee. Duke looking for the long searching ball towards Gaza. Played high by Jackson, but not too far at all. And Mason can collect. Mason to Orozco. Ooh, a foul. Says referee Richardson.
Yes, and quick.
Taking quickly, we'll find Screechy Walker, and Oliver Walker has equalized. The Lions are back in this one. 18 minutes in, 1 goal apiece.
And Daki almost missed out on that chance because he was still gesticulating about the foul while the free kick was taken quickly. But good playing there by the young men of the Royal Lions. A quick free kick taken there by Mikael Connor, controlled nicely. And then Screechy was on his way towards goal, was able to get in position, control well, and he usually finished very well for the most part, and was able to do so, pulling a goal back there and bringing his team back on equal terms.
1 goal apiece. Game on. The attackers need to create something else. The Lions won't have much to play for. They have secured second place.
Yes.
The attackers, on the other hand, have everything to play for. As Lee's trying to get in behind. Lee has had a good game thus far. Lee against Yariel. And waiting on the call by the referee and the AR. Seems to be will be a corner kick.
Yes.
I think Lee wanted a free kick there.
Yeah, yes.
Yariel did put a little weight on him, but not enough for referee Richardson to call that.
And again, Dalik there misjudging everything and getting beaten there by Keon Lee. And again, maybe not his preferred position in the person of Dalik.
Yes, indeed. But he has been playing there a lot for the Lions this season. Was Dalik a midfielder or a winger by trade? Very talented young man as well, Dalik Moore. Brother, of course, featured for the Lions as well, Demick Moore. But this was played in dangerously to the back post. It looked like Casa who rose highest, but couldn't quite get there.
Doc, all that needed was a head, a forehead, a side of the head, and that would have been an easy goal because the man carrying Burridge didn't come at all to really clear, and that was a real good opportunity there for the attackers that's gone a begging.
If there's one criticism you can have of Kareem Burris, he doesn't come to claim very often. He's very much prefers to stay on his goal line and react, and be to play more of a shot stopper role. Of course, you have the complete opposite of that, and Randy Gomez on the other side, who's not afraid to come off his line and claim anything in the air.
A lot of these seasoned goalkeepers as well. I've looked at some of the youngsters who goalkeeps for, like, for the Spartans, for the well, I think it's Brown.
Yes,
He
Shema
is
Brown.
a really, really good prospect. The goalkeeper for Brooks as well, for the Diamonds
Yes,
FC.
indeed.
Those goalkeepers are not afraid to really put themselves in harm's way to really put their team in good position. We've seen that on a number of occasions where uh, Daniel Bailey,
Yes.
who is really, it's almost like his kryptonite when it comes
Indeed.
when it comes to
Indeed.
those crosses. So
It seems like the younger generation of keepers, because you mentioned Micah Brooks and Shema Brown as well. The man Kerani Vanterpool of the Uprising FC, another one of those younger keepers, not afraid to come out and claim. But the older guys, the likes of Daniel Bailey, Kareem Burris, as well as maybe a Darius Lanton, maybe.
yes.
A bit more hesitant, of course. You do have the exception to that rule, the complete exception, Jelani Lawrence. Lawrence, many would describe him as a crazy man. This could be troublesome because the ball has been given away cheaply in defense. Screechy is screaming for it, and he's very frustrated because it took very long to come over. Not quite dealt with yet, and the shot at goal forces a good save out of Randy Gomez.
It's good shot there. Was that by Jelly or by Connor? I think it was Connor who took that shot.
Might have been Mackay.
Yes, and I think Screechy has to realize as well, while he was in position, I think what he should have done is adjusted his position just a tad bit quicker and try to get a lot more closer to the cross coming from Renal. Might have stood a better chance, but so far so good from the young men. Both teams are really trying to. Here's a corner kick taken, ball coming across, cut back there, still shot, and yes, yes, good effort there from Kieran Warner. So these two teams look to really dominate the midfield.
Attackers in need to. They're trying to progress the ball through the center, but they're playing without their main ball progressor in Kiroy Reed. They're having trouble doing so, as it will find. Looks like Jelly cutting inside. Ran himself into trouble, however, and it's cleared by the attackers. They're trying to build up from the back like usual, but without your midfield ticker Kiroy Reed, it's a whole lot more difficult.
Yes.
Good move by Jelly, but tried to go again and ran out of room. It's Casa. Mason. Gonna go wide towards, I think that's Rashim out there.
Yes, and certainly Jelly looking somewhat of a shadow of himself, not his real balanced self that we're accustomed to, fleet-footed. I guess maybe the lack of training and lack of repetition and match play has really seen his dip in form, dip in terms of his play as well. Two opportunities he would have had there a while ago, and over dribbling somewhat and losing possession. We've seen here where Screechy is actually saying something now there, but Christian just picking up what is a knock there. He's standing up, and see the physiotherapist is there, maybe just asking whether he need that magic spray. And yes, maybe just a little bit of pegs on the toe there. See walking gingerly there.
Give him experience. That spray works. I don't know what it's made up of, but that spray works.
Like we have said, Doc, there's you can certainly get quite a bit of knock. Is there an adjustment in terms of the positioning? We've seen where Leicester has entered the field. It appears as though Yariel is off.
Interesting to say the least.
Yeah. I think Yariel would have picked a knock up there in the early moments, and yes, it appears as though he has left the field, which could be somewhat of some concern, because Fishy is not the fleetest of runners.
Let's not be kind. He doesn't move well at all in this day and age.
But I think what he makes up is that he probably picks the play up early and negate the speed in his early understanding of the game, and that might do him very well.
They will have to play a deep line because Gaza will burst through and he will blow past the man in Fishy. Here come the Roaring Lions. It's a good turn inside. Shifts past a man, drives one at goal. Randy Gomez does well. That's very good. It looks like Raynell Martin, is that?
He's impressive, man. He has looked very, very good.
I like the look of that. I liked him from was it the under-15 tournament where I saw him for was it Yellow House, if I remember correctly. It was a very interesting prospect, Raynell Martin. And really, it was either yellow or maroon, and he really impressed me. That's a good ball through. It will find Sutherland, who's streaking away. That's a crucial block by Joel Orozco.
Wow, that's a real crucial block there, Doc. That could have gone across goal. It could have gone past Randy Gomez, but the long legs there of Orozco really making up the ground that Faris had, and stopping what would have been a promising attack there by the Roaring Lions.
It will be a corner. This game has really been rather intriguing in the early goings. 1 goal apiece until the 28th minute of play. So it will be a Roaring Lions corner delivered in. This one laid off a bit too hard for a one-time shot, and it can be given away, and a chance for them to break. It's the attackers in their blue looking to streak forward. Does have some company and defended well for now.
What Fishy is doing is man-to-man marking there of Gaza. We've seen. I would want to think that they would need to organize themselves there. So the player is all the way back.
Yes, indeed. But if you look at the composition of this Roaring Lions side, they don't have too many options for anyone else who can go there.
That's true.
At centre back, the only other option you can maybe think of is maybe putting Dalik Moore in there. But if you do that, then Fishy has to go over to right back up against Keon Lee. And not only is Lee fast, but Lee's very physical, as it will be a chance for a cross, but that's disappointing to say the least.
Yes, very disappointing. I think what Fishy and the back three there needs to do, though, is to keep Gaza honest. So where you try and paint the picture as if you're setting an offside trap, and then you can maybe drop back. But I think they are like betwixt and between. So far, they have not really figured out what they would want to do as yet.
1 goal apiece. The Lions will have some concern because they were already playing without one true centre back. They're playing without 2 centre backs. They do have the man Fishy in there.
What he has done is that he has brought Jackson over closer to Gaza, which is a good move, and then he can play off of that space.
Jackson, Mark Gaza, and then I think you'd rather take your chances against Shakoy than the man Gaza Isaacs. Ball whipped in rather dangerously. That's not clear just yet. Now a chance for the attackers to move, but they give it right back to the Lions. The pass through the Lions there by Moore. No foul, says the referee, but they give it straight back to the Roaring Lions. Now play will be stopped by referee Richardson.
Again, Screechy probably thought that he was fouled there and taking some time to get up. Quite a bit of talking going on out there. You see Fishy trying to at least maybe say to the referee, can't you see that? But the referee saw no problem with that at all and allowed play to continue.
Drop ball to the Roaring Lions. Lee is upset that he has to move away, and they just give it straight back to him. That's careless, I must say, from Sutherland. Casa. Well, he loses in a very promising position for the Lions as Christian Williams puts one across. It will find Raynell here, trying to shift it back in for Screechy. It can be cleared. The youngsters have come to the party here today. It's a drive at goal. Always rising.
Yes, so that's good effort there from Mikai, kind of utilizing the space and electing to shoot. But again, Raynell with a good move there. Had it not been for that man special there, again, that could have been some trouble there for the attackers team.
It is the Attackers FC. They're fighting for their playoff lives. As you would have seen, one team go out of the playoffs, the NBA playoffs.
Yes.
Los Angeles Lakers got swept.
Well, as my team, Doc, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, you know, when you're competitive and you reach that far, you would at least want to think,
Just
well,
take a game.
yeah, and I could see 3 of those games were winnable games, actually.
Indeed.
But they just, it's like I heard one of the commentators saying today that it's not so much the Lakers, but Denver really went out and won. Denver is really playing some good basketball.
They are the best team in the league. And Miami Heat are looking to do the same thing.
Yes, but that would be a very interesting encounter between those two teams as well. If Miami can really close out tonight as well,
against Boston,
that would be a real mouth-watering matchup between those two teams. And Denver is really, I haven't gotten a chance to see Denver play a lot this season, but they have certainly looked apart.
Well, they do have the guy who a lot of people believe is the MVP in Jokic. And the young man Murray as well has played some very good basketball. And a lot of people, they do think that the NBA may be rigged as it slid through for Keon Lee here. Lee one-on-one against his former side. And you can tell Lee is a fullback by trade.
Well,
that's a defender's finish by Keon Lee. And it could prove troublesome, but Jelly with the complete wrong idea as Screechy is furious. Keon Lee, what did you do? As here comes Sutherland. That's a good move. It's going to be Forrest Sutherland, and he will make it 2-1. A chance wasted at the other end. And Forrest Sutherland says, thank you very much. The Lions have taken the lead in this one. 2-1.
Again, Doc, I've seen the first time I saw him play, I tried to inquire where he was from. And again, silky move, cool, calm, composed, and getting it past Randy Gomez, who's one of the better shot blockers in this tournament as well. Really good goal there. I almost have a mistake there from Jelly, who Screechy was a bit irate with, but not realizing that Sutherland had really picked the ball up and was on his way and really finishing very well to give his team a 2-goal-to-1 advantage. But on another note, if I were coach in the person there of Nico, I certainly would have kind of switched position with maybe Kieran on that side, because what I notice is with the attackers, they are trying to break down this particular end over on this side. They're playing the ball mostly over here on their left side, and I probably might have switched Kieran Warner over on this side to contend with the movement there of Keon Lee.
It's Walker's. Marvin makes his way into the stadium, and the Lions would be so grateful for that because Yarrell had to go out early in this one. But now the question becomes, do you sub or sub?
I think they will play it. They'll probably play it out until halftime. Yes,
whistle,
yes,
but
yes.
to sort it out from there, would you put Fishy a bit further upfield and take out one of the younger players, maybe a Raynell who's played very well, or a Christian who's played very well, or Mika? It's going to be a very difficult question.
And if you ask me, I don't think Nico would do that absolutely at all. Before that, they'll probably wait a while and see. Well, a long while there. So, but it's a good headache to have at times. But so far,
they may not even need to make the substitution.
Yes.
Because they've been playing very well. And Gaza has been quieted right down for now. As I speak, Gaza's in behind. And Gaza puts it wide.
And again, I'm not too sure where is Boris going. Yeah, a little mix up there from Fishy, not really clearing as well. Needs to be a little more composed there at the back. Had the opportunity to just push that ball further upfield, electing to go hurriedly and just lobbed it actually to Gaza, who was could have done a lot with that ball, but
he made the right move. It was the right decision,
but just not on target. Yes,
just the wrong execution. Sutherland straight to Duke, and Orozco looking to go down the line for Lee. Now Duke giving it away. Christian gives it right back and regains possession. Williams finds Jackson. Raynell trying to turn. Good work there by, looks like Thompson. Now Casa. The battle of strength won by the Roaring Lions. Screechy. Sutherland has taken a seat on the side. Screechy does find Mackay. Mackay out wide towards Raynell. Raynell in early, and that's good defending by Mason. There was a runner just in behind waiting on it. Shakoy finds Gaza.
Good work there from Fishy this time.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And here comes Raynell Martin, driving one. Meat and drink for the man Randy Gomez.
The Lions will have to kick this ball off because they're playing without a player, but they're looking to at least score. And can you imagine when Reynolds really gets some more muscle and some more power? He will be a handful for defenders, really, because I'm seeing him shifting and turning, having some shots off as well, but not as powerful as he would like. And but has really put in a good shape so far.
He's a silky smooth player, Raynell Martin. Very interesting to watch as well. I do think that's what the referee should have done a long time ago. Just tell him, go off to the side and let him come around. No need to halt play.
Yes.
If you're sitting there for that long, you can sit for a bit longer until the medics arrive.
Yes. So, and actually,
And they just sent the medics right back. So you didn't even need them.
but sometimes as a player, though, you can really tell the extent of the knock and, well, I guess the older players in the olden days probably would have gotten up already, but I guess that's not the way things are now.
Out in this new generation.
Is he going to change his boot?
Maybe going to change his. We did see some boots brought into the locker room a bit earlier. Maybe going to change his boots. Christian. Looking wide of finding Warner. No, Martin. Back to Warner. Giving away. We'll find Lee. Lee trying to drift one through. And it will be a free kick the way of the attackers. Shortman looking to take it quickly.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, unless Fishy would have handled the ball there.
Maybe a handball. That was a ball. Throw in. Throw into the attackers. It's Orozco. Duke. Back to Orozco. Lee. It again, Joel Orozco. Now Special Brooks. Mason. Very composed play by the attackers thus far. Duke. There's some experienced heads back there as well. Very experienced heads. Lee tried to be clever. Not clever enough. There's Christian Williams who turns. Christian trying to poke it through towards Walker. Walker gets to the wrong side of Orozco. Walker has some place to aim at. Walker to the byline. Walker cutting it back. Allowed Orozco to regain a good defensive position. Forced to recycle the play. He has space to cross, Puts on a dangerous ball towards Raynel Martin, who puts it across. And the Roaring Lions have absolutely stormed back. It looks like Jelly, the man, and it's 3-1.
Yes, and again, that play coming from Mikai there in midfield. Seeing Raynel all the way in the back post. Just lobbing it over, and the presence and the composure of Raynel, just knocking it back in there to Jelly, who was all alone by himself. Had he missed that one, I think he would have had to.
Just take him off the field. Just sub him right off if he missed that.
But there's good football there from the youngsters, really. The Mikai Connor there, really doing a good work there in midfield. Trying to string some passes together as often as possible and picking out the players as well. And certainly well-deserved goal there to the Roaring Lions.
Well, it looked like a brilliant attacker start, but now they have a hole to dig themselves out of because the Roaring Lions have come to the party. It is 3-1. It was a great ball by Mikai, and Jelly picked up good positioning, but here comes Lee, and Lee goes down in the area, and the referee, Richardson, says that will be a penalty.
And
it was easy. It was an easy call because Lee had gotten to the wrong side of him, and he just left the leg hanging for Lee to trip over.
But Fishy only has himself to blame there. I could have seen that play all along. All he needed to do was just to come across in the lane and just boot that ball away. But again, beaten there, Dalik getting just not handling that of Lee at all. And I really thought that Fishy would have done the cleanup work at the back there. But I guess
he got turned wrong side, and he just left his leg hanging out. It was dangling. It was a carrot. And Lee will take that bait any day of the week. Looks like Gaza the man to get the attackers back in. He's put it wide.
Well,
can you believe it?
He's put it wide. The goalkeeper didn't even move. I'm not too
And
sure.
the flag has gone up, and I think it will have to be retaken. They were off the lifeline. They threw it away. Second chance at it. Gotten a second chance. Believe it. And second time is the charm. The Attackers FC have taken full advantage of the lifeline that they were gifted by the Roaring Lions. It's 3-2. It's game on.
Why is the thing here closed? Is she back now? Yeah. This is behind me.
Comfortable, especially having that 2-goal cushion.
It looked like the Lions were coasting into the halftime whistle, but now it's 3-2. 3-1 was a lot more comfortable than 3-2. Now they're on a spot of bother because second half, Gaza is a different animal.
I'm certainly sure that they're gonna at least give a game to Marvin to contend with the speed of Gaza, and I really can see them making a substitute there in Dali because he has not played to his potential at all in this match.
Duke shifted out wide and put in, looking for Keon Lee. Kareem Burris went and left it, and Lee has kept it in here, but Lee was offside. If you remember last year, the beginning of last year, the first game of the tournament last year, Keon Lee for the Roaring Lions won a penalty in a similar position to win a game. Yes. Now against his former side, he's back doing what he does well. He's very fast, very aggressive, not afraid to go down at all. Casa back towards Lee. Lee putting one over Fishy just gets enough on it. Gaza takes it down. Dalik does just enough. It's a good turn. Good walk there by Sutherland. He's still going, Sutherland. Sutherland driving away at pace. Shifted wide for Reynel Martin. Reynel cutting inside. Reynel driving one at goal by driving it wide.
Yeah. No Screechy looking the ball to come straight to his feet there, but maybe could have been a little bit further forward and might have gotten onto that one.
Short man, just over the head of Gaza, and Jackson will leave it for Kareem Burris. Well, Burris is looking like Jelani Lawrence out there right now, and he puts it into touch.
Well, I don't know where he didn't clear the ball one time. Should have cleared the ball one time or allowed the defender to play the ball there. The ball certainly didn't have enough pace to at least go to him in the box. And is that the halftime whistle? It looks so.
Yes, the halftime whistle has gone here at the REGTC. And it's a frustrated Lions side that were absolutely coasting about 2 minutes ago. But they gave the Attackers away right back into this game, and they have taken it. It's Attackers 2, Lions 3, but it's game on.
Yes, certainly. The Roaring Lions, I can see Marvin making a halftime substitute coming in like for Dali, because Dali has not been in this match at all. Not seeing Keon doing a lot with the position, but certainly making light work there of Benjamin, and has so far actually on the end of those two goals that they have in their position, the attackers team. So we're looking forward to a really good half, this second half. More goals, maybe, Doc. Until then, we take you back to master control, and you can join us in about maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes for more live action here in this encounter. Well, Doc, we're just about to start the second half. Welcome back once again to live coverage of the 2023 League, Angular Football League, right here from Rainbow City. We've been here from February and we're just about winding down. This is the last game for the Roaring Lions. I think the attackers, they have still got the Ducks United to contend with. And so they will be looking to at least get maximum points. They won't want to lose this match at all. On the other hand, the Roaring Lions will probably just want to maintain the 1 goal cushion and get the 3 points to they really can't catch the Ducks again, but and they would not be overtaken by any one of the teams behind them. But I would want to think that they would want to go out on a winning note in this final match.
First and second are secure. Third and fourth still a battle. And then fifth place, surprisingly, belongs to the Eagle Claw.
Yeah.
The Eagle Claw cannot be passed by the Limers after the Limers. They are down only on goal difference. But Claw have a goal difference of 7 and Limers, I believe, would be on 4, if I remember correctly.
And I guess they'd say, thanks to the Western Predators.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Because I was saying to one of the guys as well, even though if the Roaring Lions had not lost any of the matches at all, both the Ducks and themselves, at the end of the day, the Ducks still would have come away victorious by goal difference because they have got so much of a superior goal difference advantage over the Roaring Lions.
Over everyone.
Yes.
I mean, when you score 90 goals in a season and concede just 7, well, you're not going to be beat by many teams at all.
Yes.
Lions, of course, had a respectable season. Well, just going to say the referees are taking a while to come back out to a rather extended half time.
Yeah, so.
But it does seem like Marvin might be making his way onto the field of play.
Yes, and I'm certainly sure. Well, I'm still seeing.
Rose and Burton are in conversation. Exactly as to what?
Well, I told Trevor Rose he's walked away from the refereeing, but he talking about shot in the pants.
I know exactly what he's speaking about. Referee Richardson, shot is not tucked in. Referee Ross is taking exception to that. Former referee, the man Rouse.
You want to ask him if that's a rule that the referee keeps his, well, I think he should oblige because we've got the likes of Harley and Jackson. They are nicely tucked in. And so I don't see, well, he's eventually going to do that now.
You have to respect the two veterans in Burton and Rouse.
Yes. It's like I was saying to Ambrell, who works with the referees as well. I was saying to him that, you know, it's nice to have these youngsters coming through. I know it will take a while before they can put both the practical and the theory together so that we can get a much better product, but at least we have to start from somewhere and try to encourage them as much as possible, and that they have to take the constructive criticism as well as often as being dished out, and try to do their very best. Maybe go back and look at the game sometimes to see where they would have erred, and so that we'll be able to make better decisions going forward.
Well, the Lions are making a change, and it will be Marvin coming on. But it won't be Fishy coming off because Fishy is there. So who will be coming off is the question. Will it be Moore?
It looks as though it's Dalik. Oh, that's not Dalik over there on the far side.
No, so well, it will be interesting to see who would have come off. Looks like Jackson's at left back. So is it Keron Warner?
It looks so.
Might have been Kieran.
Unless he had an appointment or something.
But then if you are going to leave Dalik on the field, you may want to switch him and Jackson. Because Dalik has had a torrid time against Keon Lee. Well, Jackson's had a pretty solid game.
Probably what will happen in this time around, Marvin, with his speed, will certainly negate the movement there of both Gaza as much as possible and Keon as well. And no Fishy will try to man mark as much as possible. Whether that might be something good, we will have to wait and see.
It would be better advised to let Fishy be the man to man mark Gaza, because Marvin has the pace to cover any mistakes that Fishy may make, rather than Fishy having to try and mop up for any mistake Marvin would have. As Casa does well. Casa finds Shakoy Reed. Reed, one of the goal scorers for the attackers. Finding Rashim. Rashim looking for Gaza. Couple players converging for the Lions. And we'll find Sutherland. Jelly trying to be clever and does so well. Shifted back out wide here. It's going to be into touch. It will be a corner.
So, trying to tip the shoulder there was Sutherland, but it's looked like Reed was doing good defensive work there, coming back from midfield and helping out Thompson there. So good teamwork there. That could have certainly spelled some danger there for the attackers. And the Roaring Lions, they will look to see whether they can at least push themselves to goals back. On the other hand, the attackers will certainly try to.
Whipped in dangerously.
Wow.
And Randy Gomez yet again had to make a brilliant save.
Well, did he really get a fingertip on that? Well, the referee is saying corner kick, so which means he did. But that was
Randy Gomez, such good reactions. This time it can be dealt with by the attackers, only for yet another corner.
And we know that Randy Gomez has really snuffed out the Lions on a number of occasions. We saw that in the Champions League match last year. Doc, where all the Roaring Lions needed was a draw, and they actually lost the match.
Gomez have pulled off one of the best saves I've ever seen in this football league. Did a nice screechy walk in the semi-final last year. One of the best saves I've seen in this league, guys. They've had 3 tries at corners. They've not worked, and now they try to go short. It hasn't worked either. It's been 3 relatively poor corners by Sutherland.
Yes, and Sutherland is just is giving some instructions why you never cross the ball again.
Throw will go the way of the attackers. It was the AR and Hawley who initially made the signal. That it was attackers' ball.
See that one at all. And look how far down the player is taking the throw from.
Rashim gives it away to Jelly, but Screechy wasn't on the same page. Gomez can look to clear. Casa. Former Lionsman, and Casa finds Lee, who has a break in Gaza. Gaza with a missed touch. There wasn't enough pace back there to contend with Gaza. It's Gaza yet again. Gaza. And that's why Marvin has to be the last man, because he had blown past Fishy.
Well, Marvin hadn't gotten back from that corner kick as yet.
As Mason now, former midfielder Mason, giving it away. He's out of position. Good covering by Orozco. A natural centre back is Joel Orozco. Casa doesn't have the legs to get there. Rashim covers for now. As Jackson will find Mikai. Dealt with by Special. Casa with a good turn. Casa sends it through, and again Marvin. That's why you need Marvin back there.
Yes. And I would give Creature a word, and I hope he would listen to this. He just,
Play the game a bit more.
yes, just play the game. And
Whipped in over the head of Screechy. Not quite dealt with. Still bouncing around in the area. Shifted back out wide. Levered inside. Too much pace to get proper direction behind that one.
yes, and I think Jelly could have at least set that one for the player there in, that looks like Williams, Christian, elected to go the acrobatic route and lost out there.
It's Duke. Duke has Shakoy running here. Duke will use Shakoy. Shakoy trying to get in behind. He plays one across early, looking for Gaza. Good idea. Just not the correct execution.
Yeah, so the very young midfield there for the Roaring Lions, and I don't think they're reading the seams, the passing lanes as well as they should.
Over the top, it does find Gaza here. Gaza pokes one past. He goes down, but he will not get a whistle from referee Richardson.
Well, they actually took off Martin because Karen Warner is over on the far side.
So it's Renel Martin. Who
Yes.
he was the first thing that came to my mind when I was wondering who they would pull because he's the least experienced, really, of the Lions youngsters. The youngest of them.
Well, he was playing the best.
He's playing the best of
Yeah.
all of them, I will
So
say.
unless he's injured and they're trying to save him, then I can understand that. But
then what OG is saving him for? This is the last game of the season.
Yeah, so unless he really can't go, quite an interesting substitute there.
And Bruno hasn't warming up since the 18th minute. He's been warming up for the entire first half, and since the second half kicked off as well.
Yes.
I wonder when he will get his chance to make his mark on this one. Played hard over the top, trying to get in behind, but Mason does well. Rashim battling with Jackson and does very well, Rashim. Oh, but Gaza had moved and he hadn't gotten his head back up to see where Gaza went. Shifted through well. It's Sutherland. Sutherland, good defending, and he was offside anyway.
Oh, a little bit late on that call, Jackson, because he played it. It took so long to
Casa looking to go over the top again. Marvin covers. That's the right idea there for the attackers. Fishy. Now wider for Jackson. Gives it away. Reed. Finds short man. Now Duke. Duke looking for Gaza, but Gaza doesn't have the legs to keep this one in play. It'll be a throw.
as well as the youngsters play for the Roaring Lion as well, though, Doc. What I realize is that they gives the ball away quite easily, even without any pressure being applied. I think when you're playing at all times, you'd want to remain and maintain possession as often as possible. So, as if you're not challenged, as if you're not pressured, I see no reason why you should be giving it away. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Learn every facet of the game to maintain position when you have it. As again, he makes a mistake with Jackson. All these are learning experiences for the younger players.
Yeah.
They want the offside call. They will get the offside call. No pill for the Lions here today either.
Yeah.
Bell, of course.
Well,
Was
I
the-
think the last match he would have played in picked up an injury where he elected to have a shot at goal, and in shooting actually hit the ground and might have sprained either around the knee area, somewhere there.
So I do know that he would have played against the Spartans when I first came back. I don't think I've seen him since.
Yeah, so he's been very sparse as well.
Yes, indeed. That's a good run. That's a good ball. You can try to feed it through towards Screechy Walker here. And Oliver Walker is crowded out.
Well, then it's a brilliant ball here from Jelly. He has no qualms, should have no arguments about that at all.
Oh, that's Screechy. He'll find something to complain about. Good ball. It will find Sutherland. But the touch was a bit too heavy into traffic. It can be cleared for the moment. It's Jackson. Now Moore. Warner. That will be a foul and a free kick.
Sometimes when you're playing Doc and you are not seeing a lot of position of the ball, you tend to don't feel like you're in the game. You feel like you're a spectator somewhat. Maybe Moore is having some of that feeling where most of the time he's been brought into action is to defend, and hence maybe not putting out as good as an effort as he would have been or should have been doing, not getting as many possessions as he would like to play, especially from the back as well.
And especially with him being a midfielder by trade, he's used to getting a lot of touches on the ball. So to be this much out of the game must be a difficult adjustment for him. That's a decent ball in. The header just couldn't be directed goalward.
Yes, good chip over there from young man Dalik. And well, you can easily say Screechy had another easy opportunity there that he probably would want back, but maybe just taking a little bit too much of a time on that one.
Screechy. We're going to line up an effort here, Screechy. Didn't have the room for it. Against possession. Needs to play a pass. Can't pick out an orange shirt. Marvin does well. Played over the top early. Again, Sutherland with a bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
As a goal today, Farris Sutherland, a good individual goal. Beating a couple players and beating Randy Gomez at his near post. It is Casa. Back with Fishy. Sutherland. Mackay. Jelly Richardson here. Richardson. Cutting back. Richardson trying to put one in. Got a bit of defending. And hooked clear there by Duke. Casa. Can't find short man. Was looking for Gaza. Gaza using some good strength here, Gaza. It's still Gaza, but it is a foul and the free kick, says the referee.
Well, Gaza don't seem to be saying too much about that. And Bruno.
Good to see that there. Friendly banter between Gaza and Marvin.
Again, Bruno for Warner.
Well, if that was the change, you could have left Reynel on the field and just taken off Warner from the jump.
I know that. Well, Coach Nigel is the one who's working with the players, so I can't say much.
He's more
but
experienced than me. Knows a lot more about coaching than I do. That's a good ball. It's a dangerous ball. Screech is trying to get before Gomez, but Randy Gomez does brilliantly, and Screech was offside anyway.
Yes, good move there from Gomez, but good two ball there. Again, I would have elected to. Well, Warner seems as though he's running off, so maybe he has to go.
There's somewhere to be.
Maybe he has to. Yes, maybe he has to be somewhere.
Gaza over the top. It's a good looking ball here. Keonlee is onside, but Keonlee can't get the shot off.
And again, on the wrong side of the player there was more. But good recovery work, I must say.
That's a good ball. He's onside as well here. That's a good touch. And Randy Gomez pulls out the save.
I think he took the shot too quickly. Doc took it too quickly. Just maybe trying to catch Randy Gomez. But I thought that he had more than enough opportunity to at least travel closer to the goal and then pick his spot. But I guess maybe going for the spectacular, but it was a spectacular save from Gomez.
Yes, indeed, as Castle is making way. And it looks like it may be the man in Finley coming on.
That's for Sean.
It's actually Spoonie, actually.
Spoonie, yeah.
Spoonie will be coming onto the field of play. Spoonie, another former Roaring Lion.
Yes.
Two sides from a verse him. Ooh, that's a dangerous challenge. A referee just sees nothing wrong with it. That's good pace. Good burst of pace there by Keon Lee. Good recovery pace as well by the Lions. Lee goes down. Lee wins the free kick. He committed too early that the defender could have forced him down to towards the byline.
He wasn't going anywhere actually, just going byline. And
you were there and you had help. No need to commit to the challenge. Just force him down the line.
I guess a little bit of youthful exuberance there. And overcommitting. Into the 62nd minute of play. Still 3-2 in favor of the Roaring Lions. But the match has been keenly contested one so far, and we've had quite a bit of end-to-end action, and certainly we'll see this going down to the end up.
Yes, indeed. Two sides don't like each other too much, these two sides. From a very similar area, Lions primarily from Stony Ground, attack us from the valley. It's a free kick. It's floated high. Gets all the way across. I think it'll be floated a bit closer towards Boris. You know, Boris is not good at claiming in the air. If you're going to float it centrally. Spoonie, good move. Full of a lot of energy, the man, Spoonie.
Very good player there. We would say a little bit disappointing with how he would have trended, but
yes, indeed. But talented as
good,
talented as anyone.
Skills.
Here's the man Spoonie on the ball. Does well. Ooh,
that's
offside. The call there by the
tight
AR.
one there.
To a whole lot of frustration by the crowd.
Yes.
Not the biggest crowd, but you can hear them for certain.
Yes, and they are certainly in a better position than we are.
You see all the referees down in the crowd gesturing that wasn't offside. I saw the man and Porty, Livingston Clifton down below us saying, "Oh, that didn't look offside to me."
Yes, and again, just messing up the position there a little bit, kind of there. Electing to pass the ball, but actually, he would have passed the ball back. So
that's a good move. Trying to feed it through the guards. So that's good work there by Fishy. Special with the header. Orozco. Now it looks like short man there. It's a good bit of defending yet again, and Rashim puts it forward. Gaza gets it wide for Shakoy. Shakoy is deflected here. Marvin is chasing. So is Gaza. And Gaza keeps it in for Shakoy Reed. Reed trying to go down the line. Can't get past Jackson. Former teammates, the two of them, with the Spartans, FC Shakoy Reed and Kalik Jackson.
Yes.
Don't have played together too often, but they did overlap. So there's Screechy Walker. Walker here. Walker cutting inside. Screechy Walker comfortable for Randy Gomez in the end.
You're not going to score on Randy Gomez out there. And I would dare say you would better serve to the
That's a
shooting.
good run. He's going to blow past the man. He's gone down. He stayed down.
Again, Fishy's the one who's in the way. And could have easily gone for an infringement there. Certainly not reading the lanes as well as they should there. The defenders there aside from Marvin, who was just, came on at halftime and has really shown some good energy, some good speed. I think the passing lanes are not being picked up there by some of the players there for the Rowing Lions, and they're certainly giving away a lot of the possession as well.
That's the difference when you play. The difference between playing your natural position and just filling into a role. Because Marvin's a natural center back. The rest of the back line is just makeshift, really. Jackson's a versatile player, so he doesn't quite have a natural position. And you have Dalik, who's a midfielder, and Fish, who's not a defender.
Yes. And I was just go back to the point there where you would be thinking Randy Gomez is very, very good in the air, above the waist, and for what we have seen so far.
Yes, indeed. He's very agile, Randy Gomez. Former TNT Pro League keeper.
So
this
if
could
you
be troublesome. As it will be Lee in a foot race with Dalik. And Lee trying to get to the other side. Dalik using his strength well.
This time Mo did a very, very good job there, Doc. Really holding up and shielding very well.
As it's going to find Spooney. Spooney chips it wide very well here. Rashim has placed the aim at. Rashim still corner.
Yes.
This could be where the trouble lies.
Yes.
Put it high. Let Boris come and claim it. And just put it high into the area. Let your big men, let Mason attack it. They've left Special back for some particular reason. You need a goal, and Special is the tallest man on the field.
Yes, you got Special, you got Roscoe, you got Mason.
Indeed. They've put it high. The header comes up, but he can't get. He got under it a bit too much.
Yes, couldn't keep it down there. The man sent the ball. Duke.
Well, Duke isn't the tallest. He's relatively tall, but I don't think he's the one you want on the end of those headers. I would suspect he may be one of the players you would leave back and let Special go up. Especially because the Lions aren't playing with a man upfield on those corners. They get everyone back in the box. So you can't afford to send the man Special up and leave Duke back to be the cover man. Especially in a game that you are chasing. Gomez volleys this one wide, looking for Rashim. But it goes into touch for a throw-in. Jackson does find Mackay. Mackay to Walker. Walker trying to get through the gap. Can't quite do so, and it's Lee. Lee won't use Gaza. Instead, he will use Spooney. Spooney trying to send one centrally. Couldn't quite find the man he was looking for. Gaza is wide out there. Reed looking for Spooney. Now Shortman. Shortman poking it through, trying to find Gaza. That's a crucial boot there by the man Fishy. Some play it over the top.
I don't know the philosophy of players, Doc, but when I'm playing, I really hate to give up the ball. I really hate to give up the ball, especially when there is no one marking or pressuring me. I'm seeing where a lot of position is being given away here from the good good move there by Screechy.
Oh, he wins a free kick for that. Well, patented. I think Screechy has a patent on that right there.
Yeah, they saw the referee there very well.
There was contact, but Screechy went down like he was shot by a bullet.
Yeah.
Free kick has been taken about 40 yards behind where the contact was.
Exactly.
Well,
Again,
comes to
giving
nothing.
away easy ball again.
Ball doesn't lie. And it's pace. It's pace against pace. He's trying to get back inside. It's just behind him. He couldn't find Gaza. Shakoy Reed, the man there who cut back inside well. Boris coming out and spills initially. But again, Reed wasn't quite in position to get onto the end of it.
Again, giving the ball away there from a free kick. Just take not just really need somebody out there to say, guys, let's cool it down. We are leading 3-2. They are the ones who have to bring the game to us. Let's just try to maintain position, giving away again.
Lions usually have two players who are so good at that, in Tyreek Lake and Jermaine Hughes, and both are unavailable. As you will have to call that back for the free kick because there was no advantage. Good refereeing there by Amani Richardson.
Yes.
Very good refereeing there.
But you take the likes of I know Screech is looking for goals, but he likes of Mikai Connor and Christian Williamson. Those players need to at least botch the position because they are the team in the ascendancy in terms of the advantage on the score sheet. You give the opponents more touches, more possession. The likely are that they will at least at some point be given a chance to score a goal.
To score, you need the ball, and Jelly has the ball now. Jelly has already scored today. Trying to pull one back there. Some played over the top and dealt with by Rashim. Duke. Well, that's actually Spoonie. Some good work, but Rashim hadn't come out of the defensive line. And Spoonie's not happy at all. As here come the Roaring Lions into the area. Instead of taking it down the line with his left boot, he cut back.
Yes. Again.
I know he's right-footed. Rashim playing very strong, playing very well. The former Pink House man, Rashim. And he wins a free kick.
Yeah, someone has to say, well, guys, let's settle it down and let's box it around. Too many easy positions being given away. Then it's only a matter of time when you continue to do that you've been burnt by it actually.
Lions need to defend here. It's given straight back to them. And now to Bruno. Bruno, can he be clever with this one? He can't find Screechy, but Screechy tried to let it run. And he does well to get around him here. He's cut it back for Bruno. And that's a good block.
Bruno is not a goal scorer because that ball should have been pouring in the back of the net.
That's a good challenge. Strong challenge. Short man. Lee. Gaza wasn't ready for it. Gaza wasn't on his toes.
Well, Gaza switched position. He's coming more on the wide outside right. Maybe looking to
And now he's asked for a substitution. I didn't agree with the initial position of Gaza. I think he should have been playing off the left and let Shaquille Reed come back onto the right because he was causing trouble over there. But he's on the right, and now he needs a change. Not moving freely at all.
You know, he's coming back from an injury, serious accident that he would have had, and
Yes, indeed.
well, maybe not as top speed as he can be, and we've seen him pull out the throttle.
He had started to become a very dangerous second half player, Gaza, but the last couple of games he's been sedate. Looking wide for Bruno.
Again, Mikai gives away position just too easy. Just
Spooney. He does well, but we'll find Bruno who gives it straight back to the attackers. And not much they can do with it as here come the Roaring Lions. They do have the advantage on the day. Trying to put one into the mixer. Into touch for a corner.
good reading of the play there by Fishy, veteran at least, and getting it to Oliver Walker. He certainly wouldn't be given the space to operate and was hounded, eventually winning himself a corner kick. We into the 77 minute of play, so still quite a bit of time in this game for more goals. And we've had 5 in the first half. Hadn't had a goal yet. Second is going to be a corner kick from the 5.
All played in. Not quite cleared, and eventually it can be cleared, and he has space to run into. Opts to go centrally very well, and that's a good touch, but a heavy touch.
Yeah, good cleaning up work there from Jackson this time.
This young ball boy is hilarious. Sorry. He's more focused on drinking his water than actually getting the ball. Here's Spooney. Rashim through the gap for Spooney. Mackay picking it up. Mackay running into some trouble, forced to go back. And Marvin with good composure. So it looks like Lee has gone into the midfield area. Short man has gone up front. And Gaza's playing on the right. And Shakoy on the left. A change has been made from what was working for the attackers.
Yes,
Lee
yes.
was causing trouble on the left wing. He won a penalty out there, but he's gone to the midfield and they've lost some of his pace out there. This could be troublesome because he's running at the goal. He'll have a hit at the goal.
That's a good hit, and that's where.
Did it bounce wide? Was it
Well,
going for a corner?
The
Signal
a
from
corner.
the referee.
So
Oof. Man has stayed down for the Roaring Lions.
he want to get a fingertip save to that again. But those are the kind of knuckleball shots you would probably would certainly give Gomez work trouble. Those balls that are skipping and hopping across the goal. There, it's not at full stretch, diving and flying, as we would have seen in the many matches that he's been keeping here in this tournament so far. But he's been making some real spectacular save to at least keep his team. And there's a substitute, Centerval Duke, and then there's Speedy Finley coming on. So where will he be playing? Whether Gaza will switch back to the central striking role and allow Finley.
Well, I don't know. Gaza would have asked for a substitution. I guess he won't be getting it. You know, Finley has a nickname that's very famous, made famous by the man Johnson. I won't say it now. He hasn't warranted the nickname just yet. I'll wait for a bit.
And it appears as though that maybe Nico might have to be putting in a 10-minute shift. Yeah.
He's getting stripped and ready.
Yes.
I think he's played a whole lot more and he's anticipated this season.
It's been very. He had the likes of Tafari, Keanu, CJ, quite a number of folks that you would expect to be at the forefront, but it has been.
We can just go through a list of players that were there last year that aren't here. This season, really, there's no Jaden Abbott, and there's not been much of Capel Batiste, no Keeney Brooks Bell. Shamari Brand has been in and out. The man Oleandre went out with injury. No Mark Anthony Edwards, he's gone off island. There's been no Denville Gums, no Raekwon Gums, no Jermaine Hughes for a large portion of the season, no Max Vincent Fabian, no Tyreek John, no Tyreek Lake. Jaden Laron has been in and out. The man CJ Lloyd, he's been in and out. There's been no Damari Prince. There's been no Keanu. Well, there's not been much Tafari. There's been no Scipio. The Lions could make maybe two other teams with players that are missing that feature in and out for them.
Yes, so this called quite a number of names there. First choice names as well.
Calvin McKenzie, who was in and out last season for a bit. A lot of starting caliber players.
Again, not to show.
Randy's distribution is absolutely impeccable, I must say. Jackson gives it away.
He just gives the ball away just a bit too much for me for the asking.
Lee wanted a free kick. He's peeled off his man Screechy, but it's shifted wide for Sutherland, but he can't stay on his feet. Mason. That's a good challenge by Jelly. Mackay. Back to Jelly. Through the hole there, we'll find Sutherland. Now Jackson. Jackson lining up an effort, but you're not going to beat the man Gomez from that range at all.
Not at all.
Gomez tries to throw it long. It does eventually find the boot of his attacker's player. And it gets through the gap as well. And he pokes it back across for Finley. Finley hits it. Think he gets a nickname now, Tony?
He didn't hit it, but I'm not too sure with his size and power that he should be possessing.
As I would quote the man Colin Johnson, can't finish Finley strikes again.
The powder puff shot, I got to Colin, the powder puff shot.
Oh boy, Johnson. Love to hear him commentate. Has a nickname for everyone. Everyone has a nickname. He could convince you that watching paint dry was interesting. It's the attackers. We haven't had any goals in the second half, surprisingly.
No goals in the second half, and
that's not quite been devoid of action. The second half has flown by, really.
yes.
Into the 85th minute now. The defense of the Lions has stood firm. Can they get another goal here? As it will find the man of Walker. Walker can cut this one back. Instead levels it into the side netting.
Well, that's a bit on the selfish side of things there, Oliver Screechy Walker. That ball should have been heading its way back to Christian, who could have shown his disgust as well, like he usually gets Walker, but the ball is no way Screechy would have been able to at least beat Gomez from that acute angle there, and should have really be cutting it back to the player there in Jackson.
Special. Looking to go wider for Gaza. Lee in a tussle. Lee gives away a free kick.
Yes, that's a kind of soft one there. I'm sure Lee saying, "What did I do?" Two players going for the ball.
Walker, that's a crucial touch because it looked like Williams was streaking through. Well, he goes flailing Walker for no apparent reason. This time referee Richardson can't be fooled. It's Spoonie now. Looking to drive one there. Streaking through. Couldn't quite get onto it. Good defending by the Roaring Lions. It's over the head of Rashim. And the touch.
Good effort, but maybe it should have been a little bit more square on the either side of goal. Fares has the legs at this point to really run onto that one.
Lee wins the free kick. Lee just sat on him. Lee decided to take a seat.
And Sutherland, you need to get past here if you get a card, son.
Indeed, Faris Sutherland. And now Screeches decides he wants to take a path in front of the ball as well.
Yeah,
And now he'll get a card because you already had one player wasting time. The second one deserved the card. Tipped over by Spoonie. Throw into the attackers. This ball boy is still hilarious.
Boy, he's just
He's watching the game from a much closer point of view. He's just enjoying the game,
just
really.
enjoying the game
Really just enjoying the encounter. Not too interested in doing his job. He just wants to watch some good football. Over the top. Looking for Finley here. Finley missed the touch.
Yes, missed the touch there. That was a good ball over the top there from Rashid, and down goes
He called this
Boris.
time wasting to the fullest extent.
And I would you prefer to waste the time or to just allow the time to go back, just get the game going?
Another change.
I've seen Oleandro on the bench.
Nico, they're coming onto the field of play.
Yes.
Nico Corner. That's certain who he'll be replacing. The time is ticking
Almost to
away.
the end, yeah. And so I think the player has gone off. Is that Fishy has left the field? Oh, yeah, the appears as though that Fishy has left the field.
So, F's up the sub. It's brother for brother.
Yeah.
Fisher goes off. Nico comes on. So does Nico go to center back now?
What Nico would bring for sure is a bit more of a more organized calmness, slotting in the areas.
Yes, indeed.
Jackson giving the ball away again.
Gaza finds short man. And the Lions now. Good pass by Marvin towards Christian Williams. Williams for Bruno. Bruno back looking towards Williams. Christian. Screechy shifts it wide for Bruno. Bruno has some orange shots to aim at. Said drops it short, and the attempted cross nowhere near the intended target.
Yes, it was at a cross. It was a shot on goal, really. Maybe they loop it over Randy Gomez. So
Well, you are trailing, Randy. No need to waste time.
yes, Randy need to get it up and get it up quickly. Is that what, 4 minutes?
Ball over the top, looking for Gaza here. Marvin is caught on the wrong side. Gaza cutting this one back. Finley couldn't get there. Throw into the attackers.
Yes, and maybe just a little bit anxious there, Marvin, trying to block the cross coming through.
Throw goes in towards Finley. Reed to Gaza. Back to Reed. Rashim can't get there. And Screechy leading the counter attack now. Screechy trying to go down the line. Professional foul by Special.
And
Yes, take the yellow card.
Yes, acknowledge good sportsmanship there, though, by Special. Screechy doesn't look as fleet of foot as his speed is very deceptive, really. Sometimes you would think, well, no, he can't be moving that fast, but yes, very, very deceptive pace.
Play it in. Special gets clear. Lee takes this one down. And the attackers, can they mount something to get a draw? Pull a draw out of this one. It's over the top. The flag will go up. Even though it is buried, he is in an offside position. Free kick. Not much time the attackers have left. Didn't
Not
see
much.
The board go up.
It appears as though it's like about 4 minutes, I think.
It's 4 minutes.
Yes. Wait and see.
It is Mackay, sorry. Shifted through there by Christian Williams.
Good idea, but couldn't get onto it.
Lee. Rashim. Back to Lee. Mason. Orozco. Sliced clear. That's a good pass, in fact, by Nico towards Gaza. Gaza goes over the top. Yeah, Shakoy streaking through. Kareem Burris does well. Bruno. Cute pass.
That's a good flick pass. Trying to get around Mason there.
Mason is a large man to get around.
Very large man.
Rashim. Gaza. Chips one over. Crucial header by Nico. Still the attackers of Spoonie. Gaza. Gaza. And it will be a free kick.
No, it's probably the last straw of the dice here for the attackers.
Yes, indeed. It's last chance saloon. The one man back is Spoonie. Special has gone up. Special is up. Mason is up. Orozco is up. Gaza is up there as well. All the big men for the attackers are in there. Question now is...
It's Marvin. I would not be all the way back there for sure. Get the way closer away from the basket.
Oh, Shortman is a bit selfish. A bit selfish. You should have floated that one in. They do have a corner now.
Yes. And the more deep you get in defense, the more trouble you give to the keeper.
Indeed.
And easy heads going up in the back of the net.
It's taken short. And that, I must say, is not good play by the attackers yet again. Time is running out. You have 2 chances to put a ball into the mixer. You take neither of them, and you will end up losing this game by a scoreline of 3-2. Randy Gomez is not happy with them at all.
Certainly, and with all the players going further forward, I'm not sure why he's electing to to get past the wall there. But hard-fought encounter for the Roaring Lions. I think it was good entertainment this match from end to end. Both teams really looking to press home the advantage. The Roaring Lions did score 3 goals in their first half to the 2 goals scored by the attackers, and it appears as though the match ball goes to Sutherland. Yes, looks so, yes.
Forrest Sutherland picks up player of the match for this encounter. Scored a very good goal for Forrest Sutherland.
Yes.
Created some problems as well. That will be all for us here at the RAGTC. Wonderful game here of football. A great first half for both sides. The attackers scored first via the boot of the man Shakoy Reed. And the attackers, they gave away 3 goals to the Roaring Lions. Some very good goals scored by them. It was Screechy Walker, it was Forrest Sutherland, and it was Jelly Richardson. And then the man in Gaza would have scored a penalty, but he was completely shut down the second half by the makeshift defense, thanks in no small part to the man in Marvin Erskine. And the Lions have earned themselves 3 more points, and this pretty much seals the attackers' fate. They'll be 4th. They have to play the Ducks United.
Yes, and certainly, Doc, and really good, entertaining encounter here. Tomorrow night we have the women at 6:30 as well. You can join us then. On behalf of Doc, myself, this is Tony Fleming sending you back to Master Control. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a good night, everyone.